It's a dreary raining day out there. Sunday afternoon, back home from church and a church dinner. You know you never want to miss those. And I'm out here tinkering around a little bit. One or two nights this week I've messed around coming up with a mount for this tank under this cover, and what I did is I took some little pieces of pipe and cut them on an angle. They're gonna fit in there about like so, and then so I got a place to bolt it. On the lathe I made up a couple little biscuits and they're tapped 1/4 inch through there. They will fit inside that piece of pipe and I'll weld around that edge. And then I think I need to make some kind of a brace to go down, because it won't be all that strong that way. So I'm going to keep tinkering with that. And then a few nights this week I've been trying to weld aluminum with a torch. That didn't turn out so nice right there. Some of these others didn't turn out too bad. I think that was something like that. I'm not getting quite enough penetration, you can see there. So I need to practice on that a little bit more. That's pretty tricky business. There's one of my later ones. That one don't look too bad. And this one broke beside the weld. That's a good sign. I'm going to keep practicing that as time allows, or as the mood strikes me. Alright, I've kind of got that mocked up. And I've drawn a circle around my little plate there with a couple of marks so I make sure I orient it correctly. And now what I need to do is bevel my little biscuits here and weld them into the end of the tubes. I might put them in the lathe and face them so they're nice and flat right there, and then weld this to that, and then weld that to this, and go from there. There, I just welded that one up. It'll focus. Still glowing. I've already tacked that one. I need to weld that one. I swear I like that torch. You weld anything with considerable practice, mind ya. So you're leaving me?
Just for a itty bitty little bit. But I'm coming back. I always come back.
Okay. Well, since I'm going to be here all by myself, I'm going to keep working on this.
I promise to miss you while I'm gone.
Okay. I faced this off on the lathe a little bit, cleaned it up. I think that'll be good.
What's that for?
That's for the muffler bearings.
There's no such thing as muffler bearings.
There is on this truck. We're going to make it a race truck.
Okay.
Alright, I was just fooling with you. It's
Well, I didn't believe you anyway.
It's for the hinker-nickel gauge.
There's not one of those either.
Piston
You used
return?
to tell me about a hinker-nickel valve. Didn't believe that then. I don't
What
believe
about
it
a
now.
piston return spring?
There's no such thing.
Alright. I'm going to go to work on this one now. Hopefully it's not too hot to touch, like some other things in the room. Alright, that turned out pretty nicely. Only trouble is, my carefully made marks on the other end have disappeared due to the heat from the torch. So, I guess I'll have to mock that up again, but that's no big deal. Doggone it. Alright, I went ahead and tacked those into place. And I've taken it over to the truck and test fitted it, and it still fits. Everything looks pretty good. Hey look, another flathead. Now I need to make a little bracket to go from here down and something to give these a little more support. Let me contemplate that for a little bit. Alright, there's what I came up with for that side with a piece of cardboard. I'll drill holes in the sheet metal there and kind of spot weld it to this piece. That'll give it some rigidity so it can't, I better point the camera right, so it can't collapse there with the weight of antifreeze in the jug and wiggle and crack the sheet metal. And then it will weld right there to lend that some rigidity and give me a neat little place for a brace here, and even a little plate to mount some fan relays or a horn or something. And I'll do something similar on this side. Alright, there it is in sheet metal. I ran the bead roller on there to give it a little strength. The bead roller got stuck right there and wouldn't come on through, so I just left it like that. The other thing is it wadded it up. So I found what I had to do is lay it on this little piece of steel and take a body hammer and hammer that right around there on each one of those terminations of the bead roller, and then flip it over and tap it with a flat side of the hammer on this side, and it straightened it out pretty good. And I haven't really test fit it just yet, but let's see how it does. I think it's going to be okay. Fit in there about like so. So let me tack that in place and then build that brace. Alright, I went ahead and made that little bracket. I got a little snazzy and put a twist in it. I need to probably put a little gusset right there. And then I've got that piece made. I was able to use the template from the other side and just bend the ears the other way. So I'm going to go ahead and weld that into place and then see if my tank will still fit. I hope it does. What do I got to do?
Come in and eat.
But I'm having so much fun.
Okay, well, you don't have to eat.
You always wave your arms when you talk.
Always.
Alright. I got that welded in there. I guess I'm gonna let this cool off while I eat and then come back and see if that tank fits. You think it will?
I don't have no doubt.
You started to say you don't know, didn't you?
No. No. No.
Well, it still fits. I did have to modify a little something here. I forgot about my little overflow hose. But that was no big deal. Everything fits like it's spoda. And looks pretty good right there. Now let's see if it fits. It fits on the truck. And it looks like it does. Now all I gotta do is make that radiator cap less ugly. I had to trim that little flange off the cap so it would seat. I had one time an idea of building a little door to fit over that, hinged right there or something. But Cutworm suggested just putting an old radiator cap on it, which is a good idea, but this is threaded, but possibly you could glue it to this or something. But you'd think I'd have a radiator cap around here somewhere, but I can't find one. I think that old 46 Ford radiator is up there somewhere. You might understand my lack of eagerness to go up and see. But I think I'm going to call it a day. Soggy, rainy day. Got a little bit done. Not much this weekend. Better turn my lights off. This is my old lathe. You gotta be careful, that sucker start rusting. That's it for now. See ya.